record this so that in case there are others that can't make this call, at least they'll have the recording. So we're now recording. And hey, Josh, how are you? So this is great too because we'll be able to share and also record how to get into live plan. So we got a few things on the agenda, but we're going to get everything in within an hour period of time. Hopefully, for those that are on with us and will join with us, I know it's a lot of information to get through in 6 weeks, but that is the goal, is to not procrastinate and kind of put things on the shelf and say, okay, I'll get to it, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. The purpose of this training is to really push you so that you can go ahead and do what you need to do and not delay. There are so many opportunities now, although we're in this COVID-19 kind of pandemic situation, there are also some positive things that are going on for the business owner. This is an opportune time because if you had a 9 to 5 and now you're on a hiatus or you're working from home, or whatever the situation is, this is the time to work on your business as well. And so this is a great opportunity to really get the tools that you need, to get structured the right way, so that when opportunities open up, you'll be ready to get you on the right track, get you ready, get you moving, and guiding you process so that you'll be good to go. And I've seen in these last few months, and I'm changing my internet to make a little bit slower, but I've seen in the last few months individuals that possibly had opportunities to either apply for something, but they didn't have the numbers, they didn't have the things that they needed, they didn't have the business plan. I had a few people that wanted to invest in companies and they didn't have a plan. They couldn't even articulate. They could articulate, but there was nothing in writing. And there was no alignment of financials and how they would generate revenue. And it was unfortunate. And so that's what we want to do, is to make sure that you have all of this and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to share my screen again, because I want for you to be able to, let's see here, where am I? I'm gonna get rid of this, stop share, and I'm going to go to our platform that we've been using. So let me close this. We've been using the platform for the GCDC platform. So now let me go back and share. I'm almost getting used to this, but it's still taking a while. So I'm kind of sharing with you, this is on my side where I can kind of manage things, but hopefully, individuals have been able to get on the right track, utilize our platform. We've added some new things to the platform. Ray Bacon, who's our guru financial advisor, he's going to be teaching for the next couple of weeks on financials and understanding how to do that. And he's going to integrate that with Live Plan and really helping you. He really likes Live Plan because once you put the numbers in, those sheets talk to themselves to help produce a final. So he's going to really guide you guys through that. But just want to indicate that there are some documents that will be due soon, but also just to notice that we've added some resources in here. So there's something called Steve's Pins. That's something Ray's going to talk about. And then the financial operating cycle we've added. and also the accounting terminology. So I would suggest that you kind of peruse it, look at it. As you can tell, we've pretty much almost got through everything. We're in the section D of our basics. So today is kind of like helping you, introducing you to the next assignment. And that is, as you're working on your business plan, you need to test your business plan. So here in this section, there is something called Test Business Plan Worksheet. So we want to make sure that it's a Word document. You click on it, you can open it. We need you to be able to type in and answer some of these questions. So, you know, the whole purpose is to really see if the business you have is a good business model. So you can do a survey, you can call somebody up, you know, but the question is, you know, you're going to put in what the product name is or products. You're going to put the prices of how much they are, if it's an item or a service, and then the quality of expectations. You want to put some kind of information of what goal you're trying to reach, but also you want to test this with other people and ask, is my quality good? What's wrong? Is the color, is the logo looking crazy? Whatever. And you want to use this worksheet. So you can duplicate this worksheet, save it as many times as possible, but also get feedback. So people that know your service and your products, you know, you want to get feedback. How did I do? How does this product work for you know, work for you? That kind of thing. So we want to utilize this sheet in order to kind of test. So you will be doing that next week. Start working on that now. Let me close this. So that you'll notice that on here, D section, you want to kind of work on this and turn it in next week, if possible. If not, we'll allow the following week. But this is what you want to do, is submit your assessments from having a conversation with other people about your service or product. So, and we kind of put some deadlines here, but these are really lightweight deadlines, especially with the business plan. If you haven't started utilizing LivePlan yet or gotten into it, we definitely want to give you that opportunity to fill that information in. As we shared before, you know, if you have an existing business and hopefully you had some kind of business plan, if that's the case, then take some of it's more of a copy and paste, and bring some of that information into LivePlan, and then let's edit that based upon what's going on right now in your environment. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce Josh, and I don't know, Josh, if I need to get in the LivePlan or if you can share and I can share my screen with you to guide them along. What would you like to do? And I'm going to take you off mute. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe you can do it. I can't. Can you take yourself off mute? Okay, great.
How's that? Is that working?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got LivePlan up on my screen. If it's possible to give me presenter mode.
Okay, I will do that right now. There you go. So introduce yourself and we'll move on.
Sure. My name is Josh Fiegels. I work at Palo Alto Software, and Palo Alto Software makes LivePlan, which is the software that you're using through the SBDC. And part of my role is to support our national partnership with the Small Business Development Center, so that you know, we can offer our tools through the SBDC onto entrepreneurs like yourself. So just to confirm, I've got Garrett's Bike Shop up on the screen. Are you guys able to see that, or is there something I need to click?
No, not yet. I have you on as multiple presenters, so you should be able to. There might be something you may need to hit your share screen.
All right.
And then select the screen.
I think you're right. Here we go. right.
There we go. We see it. It's coming up. There you
All
go.
right.
Great.
Very good. And then, so that I don't go too long or too short, about how long would you like me to take showing the different areas of LivePlan?
Just maybe about, 10, 15 minutes. I think we tried to get everybody in there. But if you can kind of like, show the screens that's in there, that would be helpful. And then if they have questions to ask you, then they can ask questions.
All right, very good. Well, wonderful. So the first thing that I would highlight as far as the tool is concerned is I'd say the most important thing that you could do is just get in there and start putting something in there. It's kind of like the biggest step, I think, oftentimes is the first step. And so if even today or after today's training and after today's call, if you just log in and honestly just type a couple of characters or a couple of words, you'll be, that proverbial mile ahead, than you were before. And what you'll find is that if you have, regardless of your experience level, if you're brand new to entrepreneurship or you've been doing this for years, if you've never ever heard of a business plan or you've written many, the tool will be engaging and guide you along and help make it a real seamless, easy process. So a couple of things just to orient you with the software is once you log in at the top, you'll see a kind of a dark gray bar, and those are the main areas of LivePlan. I'm currently highlighting the pitch page, which you can see now. Garrett's Bike Shop is a fictitious business plan, but it's more or less representative of whatever industry, whatever idea, whatever business you're launching or running or growing, it will fit right into LivePlan. And so what the pitch is this is a 1 to 2 page summary business plan, and it shows kind of the main areas, the main ideas that you would want to communicate outward, either to within the team with partners and other employees, or to investors, lenders, to the SBDC. It just gives you a nice, easy to convey snapshot about the business. Now, when you log in, of course, the first thing you'll see is a lot of blank boxes because it's going to want you to start answering questions. And under the pitch page, you'd simply go to the edit section. And now all of that information is now in a question and answer, fill in the blank type of a context. And you just read through and put in your best guess is often the best place to start, because then that gives you and your advisor and others in the conversation content in which to discuss and improve and revise. So again, you don't have to have the right answer. Just put in your best answer, your best guess. With your headline, this is like a one sentence statement about the business. It'll probably evolve as you learn more about yourself and about the business and the competition and the opportunity. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It won't be. So just put something in there so that we can start moving along. So identify the problem, the solution. You'll notice that as you go through, you can select different input types. So if you like to write, you can use description. If you want to just get those ideas down more bullet point style, select short list and continue through all the way down to partners and resources. So the goal is that it engages you, you read through, it asks you questions, you put in something, get that first draft complete. And then just so you can see where this is going to go, once you've entered in that information, it is a shareable resource. So you can publish it to a web link and make that easily shareable. You can also export it into a slide deck, which is fully editable. It'll export into Google Slides or into PowerPoint, and it'll take the nuts and bolts of what you've put into the pitch and put that into some slides for you that you can take right away and use that as a pitch deck. You can also go in and add more images and more content and things like that. So it's kind of a nice way to get started with a presentation. So again, in summary, the pitch page is that sort of the face of the business plan. Now, the plan itself is going to still be a brief We don't want the 100-page business plan or something that's so extensive that really the bank or the lender, no one will spend that much time reading your life story put into a business plan. So you want to get to the point, be concise, but the tool will actually help you in, as you do that, it's going to give you examples. So what you're seeing over here on the left is the outline. So you've got the summary, the opportunity, the execution. Now over here on the right, where you would input the content, you'll see it says a little button that says edit. Again, as a reminder, this is fully filled out. So once you get in there, it'll just show these areas basically ready and waiting. So you click on edit, and I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight this, and let's see if I can remove that there. So this is more what you would see when you get in there. So this currently, the topic that we're looking at is the sales plan. But if you look over here on the left, you'll see that there are instructions. So again, you're not just looking at a blank page and trying to come up with this on your own. There's instructions on the left that'll talk to you about how to think about a sales plan, and then also a couple of generic examples. So I want to highlight that this food truck example is actually just one paragraph. So it might be enough for you to convey your sales plan in a few sentences. It might be that you're going to take a couple of paragraphs. But again, it's not 4 pages of sales plan. You know, we're trying to convey the idea. Certainly with your business partners, with your advisor, you may break it down and get into more detail, you know, granular detail. But as far as at least the first go around, take cues from the tool and enter in, you know, 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, that kind of thing. And then when you're finished, you can click done. Another thing that is a value of a tool like this, in addition to the instructions and the prompts, is that it's collaborative in nature. And under the sales plan, for example, you see there can be comments, and this is where your advisor, your partners, other people that are involved can actually be invited in. They can log in, they can read through your rough draft, the different elements, and then they can leave comments. I always refer to it as like the red ink on the draft. You know, somebody's going to mark it up, and that's good, that's what we want. And then you will actually find all those comments throughout the plan are easily accessible under this comment tab. So you can see, you know, in this example, my colleague Justin has made a few comments, and we can see what those comments are. So you just simply click on the comment text here, and it'll show. Of course, these are examples, so they're fairly brief. But then if you wanted to, you could jump hyperlink right back into the plan specific to where that comment is, and then make some of those adjustments. So again, just to reiterate, under plan, view and edit, this is where you'd go in, click edit, enter your information. The comments will reside specific to the content under each one, and then those comments will be cataloged here under the comment tab. Now, of course, we're going to look at the finances here next, but I will highlight while we're looking at the plan that ultimately when you're ready to export everything, you can export it as a finished PDF. You can also export it as a Word doc, which of course the Word doc is editable. So if you want to get it out into Word and have that editable document, you can as well. Additionally, there are a lot of different options as far as what you want to export. So it's not an all or nothing. It could be, oh, I need to export this one section to send it over to someone, or you know, I don't need the full plan, or maybe I do. And then there's also a few export options as far as designed themes. So you can select the kind of the more black and white logo centric, or if some of these colors maybe, you know, fit with the feel of your business, you can select one of those, and it gives it a real nice finished look. So that's the plan section. Now, of course, we know the plan includes the financials, but we highlight the forecast as separate because it's a little bit of a different exercise. The plan section is all words and writing and sharing those ideas. With the forecast, though, you really are still sharing those ideas. You're still telling the story of your business, and you're actually still going to be answering questions, and I'll show you how that works. But don't think about it as an entirely different exercise. This is an extension of telling the story of your business. It's just the numbers are what are going to be the expression and the story that you're telling. So up here at the top under forecast, we're currently looking at financial tables. That's where we'll enter the data, but I want to highlight what this is going to produce. So after you've answered all the questions, it's going to produce a profit and loss statement. It's going to produce a balance sheet, and it's going to produce a cash flow statement. And I also recognize that it's likely that there are some in the program that these are not familiar terms for you, and that is okay. The nice thing is that these are very familiar terms for the bank and for the lenders and the investors. And so through this process, you'll learn about these reports and what they tell and show and what that means for your business. But it's okay just to sit back and have new terminology presented to you. Now, when we get into the build out of the financials, it's actually geared to fill in those knowledge gaps for the new entrepreneur. If you, again, are very experienced, you could actually go to financial tables, click revenue, go down here, click the green button, and you're off and running. But for everyone else, people like myself and individuals who aren't with a finance background, you can go here and click on the instructions, and it's actually going to talk to you about this subsection of revenue. What is it? How do you think about it? What does it mean? You can even watch a video that is specific to the topic of revenue, and that will prime the pump so that when you go down here and click on the add revenue stream, you've got a little bit of an idea what we're going to be doing here. So let's click on this, and together we'll build an example. So we'll just say this is an example. With revenue, think about it as money coming into the business. So what do we want to call this? It's this widget or this service or this thing that is going to be a vehicle for bringing money in. So we'll title it in this example. This is an example revenue stream. Click on next. And now it's going to ask a multiple choice selection of, is this a unit? Is this a billable hour, a recurring charge, or we're going to just catalog it as revenue only? And you'll see that it actually highlights what each of those means. If you need a little bit of help, of course, reach out to your advisor. Ask. There's really, I'm sure you know this, there's no question that's too simple. Every question is a good question, so bring those questions to the table. When you select one of the selections, you'll see that LivePlan then fills in the next questions related to your input. So unit sales, here's some questions related to that, billable hours, same kind of thing. So it's going to adjust as you put in information. I'm going to select unit sales and show you that, again, I don't mean to gloss over the information, but you can read a little bit more about how many units will you sell. Let's say it's 50 per month or a certain amount per year. If you expect a growth curve or seasonality, you can select varying amounts, and it'll actually take you to this graph where you can input month by month. So we could select, February, March, April, etc. I tend to, as a first go around, recommend bookends. So let's say January, we expect to sell 50, maybe by the end of the year, we're hoping that grows up to 100. And then you can actually mouse over the graph and just connect the dots. Now, for the perfectionist, I recognize this is not perfect, but it's an idea. We're getting an idea of the story based off the numbers. Also keep in mind when forecasting, the whole exercise is telling the future, which no one can actually do. So we're trying to do our best. And so what you want to do is take all of your assumptions and the things that you think are most likely going to happen, and then allow that to reflect that information that you have. And of course, with planning, the reason we even called the tool Live Plan is because it really is a living document that is going to be, it's going to need adjustment as you go, as the business evolves, as things change in the competition and so on. So anyways, I think you guys get the idea. But I've just put in a kind of a steady growth curve. If we, let's say, have seasonality with our business that we expect summers to be lower sales or whatever the case may be, you could just click in and make those adjustments. And that gives us a summary for the year of just under 900. For the demo, since I'm going to just move through, you can actually select this last graph or this last cell. See 3 little boxes here, or little dots. I'm going to apply this through the next year to year 3. Of course, that's just going to be a flat curve, or not a curve, a flat line. But just want to get some data in there for the example. We'll click next. Oops, I think I right-clicked instead of, hang on, come on. There we go. And then it's going to ask you, the last question is price, and maybe these are $50 items. Save and close. So, you know, pretty casual. We've just gone in and answered some questions, and now we've got this example right here of unit sales and unit prices, and that's the data that we just put in there. And it's funny, I just noticed that our Garrett's Bike Shop now has some financials related to gym memberships, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, so yeah, I guess, anyway, that's just our demo. But so the reason for kind of click, 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 add some info is what I want you to realize is that you can do this. Whomever you are, you can get in here, make your best guess. Let's get that process started. And then the next section, direct costs, it's going to look and feel the same. Instructions, videos, go down here, click the green button, answer the questions. And you're really just going to progress all the way through each of these subsections until you get through to financing. And once you've completed each of those sections, you will have a beginning forecast. And it will require that you go back and make some changes, and that's great. It's so much easier to change something than nothing. So just get in there and do your best, answer some of those questions, and that all will populate through to these bankable reports. So last couple minutes here, I'll just highlight that as a check and balance, you can get into this benchmark tab and look up your NAICS code. If you know that already, you can plug that in. If you have no idea what a NAICS code is, it is short for North American Industry Classification System, and it's a categorical way of identifying industry type. And so for Garrett the Bike Shop, we can actually type in a keyword. It'll bring up a number of data sets, read through the summary, select the one that best fits, and then also you can select where you're doing business and then what the size of your company is. So once you've got that data set, what you'll notice here then is the benchmark, that's the industry data or the comparables, is directly related to now your forecast. And so right now you can see that Garrett has a fairly incomplete forecast because his numbers are way higher than what is actually going on in most sporting goods stores. And I think what I like about that is at a glance, you can see, oh, something needs some attention. And that's really the goal of this page, is that you can look at the benchmarks, see where there is data, no data. You can click in, get a little bit extra information with education. And so the tool is geared to help you see any potential blind spots. And then finally, the last 2 sections, the schedule tab is really for setting milestones for the business. It'll show you any that have gone late. So that's a nice visual cue that, oh, I was intending to get this done, I haven't yet. It'll show what's upcoming and then what's completed. And you just simply click on the green button, enter that milestone, assign it, give a due date, etc. And then finally, the dashboard, the purpose of the dashboard is twofold. If you're a new business, this would more or less be where you finish. After you've started your business, you've started using QuickBooks or Xero or some kind of accounting, you can actually use your data from your QuickBooks, overlay it with LivePlan, and then it'll give you a dashboard to show how am I doing? Am I meeting my goals and my projections and everything like that? If you are an up and running business and you already have QuickBooks and you've got historical data, for you, the dashboard might actually be the first place to go because you could connect in your accounting and it'll pull in historicals, and it won't create a forecast for you, but it'll pull in the last 12 months to get you a starting point in which you can adjust. So again, in summary, the dashboard for a new business is more or less where you end, and then it's for future managing of the business. For a up and running business, it might be where you start to pull in that data. So that kind of ends the brief summary. I'd say the last thing is just to highlight down here at the bottom, there's a little blue help bubble. You can reach out to the support team at LivePlan anytime that blue help bubble is showing in the tool. Also, under the help section here, top right, we have a lot of other free resources, FAQs, articles, things like that. You can even give us a call. So we're in your corner. We're a partner with SBDC, and we hope that this is a tool that helps you be very effective.
Cool. Thank you, Josh. Really appreciate it. I tried my best the last couple of weeks to help navigate, but definitely your explanation was even clearer. Are there any questions for Josh before he hops off? So everybody's good. We're going to see all these plans. Come on, Cassandra, unmute yourself.
Good morning. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Hello.
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Maybe I'm thinking this live plan might be a little more scarier than it really is. You guys make it sound so simple, but I've been in there and it's really scary. So my question is, it's easy for me to put in the words, you know, I can type all day and explain something, but when it comes to those numbers, that's a whole nother feel for me. So I do have a cash flow. This cash flow doesn't look like my cash flow. So how do I take a normal 12-month cash flow and put it in here?
Great question. So the cash flow that LivePlan will produce is actually going to be auto-generated based off of all of the answers that you put into revenue and expenses and personnel. So there isn't a way to take a cash flow statement and just, oh, you know, I've got it here, maybe in a spreadsheet, I'm going to copy and paste my cash flow from here into LivePlan. Because what LivePlan is going to do is, in fact, let me show you this. If we go down to the financial tables and we've entered in, here's where the money's coming from, then the cost, where it's going, personnel, expenses, assets. When we get to cash flow assumptions, this is actually one area that's a little different because it's going to ask us what are those assumptions on accounts receivable, days to get paid, accounts payable. So it's a slider graph rather than the fill in the box like we were looking at in the others. So it's going to say, you know, for example, what are you putting on your invoices? So we expect that we're going to get paid net 30. That tends to be standard for a lot of industry. But what would it look like if actually we weren't managing those invoices and getting someone to actually pay us on time? What happens to cash flow if we're actually getting paid in 60 days? And the graph here will actually adjust based off of wherever we're at on the slider. So I guess the best way to respond to what you're saying is keep your cash flow spreadsheet that you have outside of LivePlan, similar to like the benchmarks where it's a check and balance. So after you've answered all the questions in LivePlan and then you go and look at, say, the cash flow report here, then I would say compare it to what you've got in your spreadsheet, see if there are similarities or differences. And if there are differences, then dig in to see, you know, maybe if there's some missing information in one or the other.
Okay, so don't try to connect the two. Okay.
Correct, because the cash flow, this projected cash flow it's reporting the conclusion or the summary of all of the inputs from money coming in, money going out, even inventory. Actually, under cash flow, if we scroll down to the bottom, it's going to ask, you know, how much inventory do you keep on hand and what's the minimum order size. So every individual input throughout the building of the forecast is going to be what's informing what the cash flow report in LivePlan is producing.
Okay, I won't pay attention to that other cash flow and I'll just work from here. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, whatever information you can glean, I'd say take all the information that you have at your disposal when going through and answering the questions. And then also, and again, I don't have a finance background, so I feel like I'm a kindred spirit with all the entrepreneurs out there, specifically with finance. So at any point when you're going through the forecast, if you click on this help bubble, it's going to suggest some help articles based off of where you're at in the screen. So you'll see that if I go over here to cash flow, it's actually going to suggest an article about cash flow assumptions. If I go over here to expenses, it's going to suggest some expenses related articles. So that's intended to be a smart tool to try to help. But again, I highly recommend the support team. We are in Oregon, so we're Pacific Standard Time. So keep that in mind. But anytime that kind of Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific time, if the blue help bubble is showing, there's live support. So you could go in here and live chat. And even like you did just now, if I weren't here with you live and we were having this discussion, you could have that same kind of a discussion through chat or pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got my cash flow right here in a spreadsheet. How do I enter that? And then they could talk you through that as well.
Okay, thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. Great question.
Okay, any other questions? All righty, so I look forward to really being able to see your business plans in the next following weeks. Next week we will start the financials. So Ray is going to talk and teach about cash flow and break even. So he's gonna give more detail to that. So that might help when you get ready to use Live Plan, that you'll understand the terminology. So I think as we go through this together, you're going to be a little bit more clear on how to utilize this tool, but also how this tool will become a benefit to you. So no more questions? Okay, great. Thanks, Josh, so much. You can stay on with us. We'll be on for a few more minutes, or you can hop off. And, again, we appreciate you taking the time to kind of guide us through this. And, if I have any questions, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
All right.
So, yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'll go ahead and hop off. But
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always a phone caller and email away. So,
Okay, great. Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so guys, I hope that was helpful. As we get through this, I'm gonna go back to my screen so that you can see back to Right on Track, our platform. So basically we're in the kind of section C, section D of our first module. And again, don't let the deadline scare you. It's just really something designed to keep you on track so you don't get behind. Hopefully, if you could try to get through steps 1 through 4, and again, you will click on that section to see what it requires. And if you scroll down, it'll say submit a draft business plan for review. So this kind of gives you some direction of what you're supposed to do for each of these. Again, it's a draft, so if you don't have a lot of information, that's fine. Send us what you have. You're looking at my navigating screen, but on yours, it should have something that allows you to submit. And you want to make sure that you click on the submit button, because I'm seeing some of you complete your task, but I'm not seeing you submit it so that we can pull it up and review it and send you back comments. So if you've completed a task, make sure you submit that task so that we can help you. Again, we've added some things. So we have added the accounting terminology. So when you click on that, it is a Word document. You can save it then to your computer, so you don't have to keep downloading it. But when you click on that, it will look like this, and it's accounting terminology terms. So if you don't understand what accounts receivable is, if you don't understand what assets are, balance sheets, cash flow. So if you don't understand the terms, this 4-page document has most of the basic accounting terms. So if something comes up on those sheets in Live Plan, you don't know what the term is, what it means, you can utilize the terminology sheet to figure out what it means. So it's 4 pages. And of course, you can always reach out to us if it's something that you're just not really clear about. So we added that document. Also, these 2 documents, financial operating cycle and Steve's pins, which is a scenario, Ray will begin on Tuesday, really teaching that. There are some other templates that are in here that you can use as a sample, but you know, or use as a worksheet. That's why we put them in here. But Live Plan is going to be the one that you really want to put all your data in so that it begins to speak to the other pages. We're still looking for you. If you have not turned in your introduction sheet, your vision missions worksheet, please do that. Those were due last week, but please turn in your introduction sheet and your vision mission worksheet. Again, how do you get that? You just click on it. It'll open up the document, answer the questions, save it, and then submit it or upload it to us so we can see it. I have a few of them, but there's still some out there. We did some homework worksheets. These were really worksheets for you to kind of help you think through vision and mission and that kind of thing. So we're asking that, you know, if you'd like to turn them in so that then when you meet with us, we can have something to have conversation and dialogue on, please do so. The next one that's coming up is test your business plan. I'm gonna click on that because a few of you weren't in the room when I talked about it, but this is something that's gonna come up within the next couple of weeks. So as you're building the plan or you already have the business, you wanna test it. So this is kind of like a worksheet to either do a survey with somebody, have them answer some questions, and this is the information you'll fill out. What is the product name or names? How much does it cost? Is it a service or is it an item? What is offered? Quality expectations, you know, what are people saying about your services or your quality of expectation? And then if they're giving any feedback, you want to include that as well. So we want you to utilize this worksheet to turn in your assignment. So, and then definitely we'll let you know if we've received documents. In fact, I normally send a comment and say, thank you for your document, talk to you soon. So if you haven't gotten a response from any of us like that, we'll go back in the portal, make sure, and then also make sure that you're seeing our comments from the portal. So that's my concern, is that as we're communicating with you, we want to make sure that you're getting our comments from the portal. And if not, then shoot me an email and say, I sent you something in the portal, can you check it? You know, and that's kind of like double checking. The other thing is the content library. So I had shared before, there's a lot of content in our content library. So you should be able to get to that under resource and click on content library. And these are some of the things that are in there. We just added what Ray's going to be working in is a financial case study. So if you want to look to see what he's going to be talking about next week, there's a Word document that's going to take you through the financial steps of a business. He's going to use that case study to teach the next couple of weeks. So he's going to be doing finances for the next couple of weeks. So any questions or things that you have as you're trying to put your information into Live Plan, definitely you want to look at this document, because this is the document that he's going to use to teach from. Then also last week we updated or uploaded the Kauffman Foundation Entrepreneur Content Library. So, you know, go check that out. Here's the link to it. There's a lot of information and free things that they have out there that you should probably, that you may need. We uploaded first week's recording. And so after today, I'll upload second week recording. Here are the links so that you're able to go and look back at what was said in case you didn't make those sessions, okay? And then, of course, the SBA resource guide is out there for you. And then also starting a business in Illinois, details there, look at that guide. And then I just, the other day, uploaded what's called vision and mission presentation. So I showed you some things on Tuesday night, I believe, about vision and mission and how to build a strong vision and mission. Well, this is the whole presentation that you can look at your own leisure, just to help you make sure that your vision and mission is a good vision and mission, just in case you need to revamp. So here in our content library, you can actually click on this. It's a PDF file, so you can actually click on it, save it to your computer, or either you can view it from right there. And it just takes you through what a vision is, what a mission is, and how to build a vision and mission statement. So all of that is in our content library. We'll keep adding things in our content library so that you'll be able to kind of navigate. We want to make sure that none of this is confusing. We want to make sure that as you're going through this, we want to make it easy and not hard. And I know with the financials, that may be a challenge as we're going through. So we want to make sure that as we're kind of guiding you through, if you have an issue or a challenge, there should be something on your page that is going to be able to kind of guide you. So you want to ask questions, don't delay. If you need to schedule an appointment, you have something on your sheet to actually schedule an appointment. So if you want to schedule an appointment with us, you can do that as well, and have that conversation with us. Don't wait. Do it now. Schedule appointments or send us an email. So if you're not really getting a handle on how to use this platform, then you can always shoot me an email so that we can schedule an appointment with you. We can do a Zoom or we can talk on the phone, however you want to do it. But we want to make sure that you don't fall behind. And next week, because of all the financial stuff, it's going to be a lot of information, but we're going to have 2 weeks to go through the financials. So our next module is starting here. Next Tuesday, we're doing financial projections and income and cash flow and all that. So Ray's gonna go into very detail. He's gonna use the scenario to kind of take you through this. This is gonna be the prime time to begin to ask questions, especially when you're trying to figure out how to grow your financials or figure out if you need to take another route as it relates to your business, or adding something on your business or taking something away off your business. So this is the opportunity to be able to do that. Again, the deadlines that we have here is really designed for you to stay on track so you don't get behind, but we're not penalizing you at all. It's better for you to put something in there so that we know where you're at, so we can help and advise you. So just try it. Hopefully Live Plan is going to help with these financials as you build and it starts to build your business plan. Hopefully Live Plan is going to help you get through that. So I'm going to, if you'll notice that our last module is going to be marketing and websites. So that's going to be after we get through 2 weeks of financials. And then Ria's gonna kind of guide us through our marketing and social media and all of that. And then you'll notice the very last thing is the pitch. So what we're asking is that we're gonna kind of open up the lines and we want everybody to pitch their business to their class, and we're going to do that within that week period, of that last week that we're together, that Tuesday and that Friday, that you're going to pitch your business so that your other classmates can actually see what you do and how you do it, and for you guys to be able to share. So right now, what I'm going to do is, because I didn't get a lot of people turning in their introduction sheet, I'm going to open up the lines, and if those that are on the line won't mind to share your name, the name of your business, and what you do for the next kind of 10 minutes that we have, please do that, so that all the other your classmates can know who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So I'm not going to pick anybody. I'm going to just say unmute and go for it. Don't be shameful.
Hello.
All right.
My name is Betty Weekly. I am the owner operator of Hair Lace Soleil, a phenomenal natural hair.
Okay, great. Thank you. Who's next?
Hi, I am Charlene Barrios. I am the owner and director of His First Home Incorporated. I want to expand my business to a center of a capacity of at least 75 to 100 children in my community. I serve right now in Inglewood. I would like to stay in Inglewood. I've been in business for 13 years. I'm just tired of turning children and family away in my community because I do not have space for them. So I want to expand my business. It's nice to meet every one of y'all.
Hey, thank you. Who's next? It's not that many of y'all on here, so.
Hi, I'm Cassandra. My business is Child Care, Lloyd's Lollipop Land Daycare, also based in the Inglewood community with the same issues of not having the space to accommodate the children in need.
All right. Who's next?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Wesley Rogers. I'm the owner and president of Railroad Tracks Music. We're a recording studio and music production and sound design company. I'm really trying to pivot more into online and really do more teaching of what I do, you know, because like I said, I don't really want to have people like have to come in here. So I really want to try to focus on ways I can make money without people actually coming in, as well as trying to give back to the community as well. Because like I said, I was a aspiring artist at one time. So I'm, you know, trying to like, you know, share my experiences and help others out along their way.
Great. Thank you. Did we get everybody?
Hey, I got a question about the thing. I just uploaded my introduction sheet. I don't know if it uploaded. So I think you muted.
Yeah, she's muted.
Yeah, I'll check. We'll go in and check. If we haven't gotten it, I'm starting to send out just emails to everybody and saying, hey, did you do this? Hey, did you do that? So you don't get behind. So I will double check though. But that's why I kind of wanted to open up the line today so that you can actually just share with everybody. Since we don't have everybody there, we're missing about 4 or 5 people today, which is fine. That we knew that trying to do these classes, people work during the day or are going back to work. And then that's why we do Tuesday evenings, just in case you can't get on Fridays. But again, the goal is you spend more time calling us, asking us questions, and the Zoom is just designed so we can connect. But we want you to utilize all the assignments and the things that we're having you do. We want you to do that so that then when you send them to us, we can have these conversations with you and you can keep rolling. Even if you're not on the Zoom, you can keep rolling. And that's why we're recorded, so that then you can look at it at your own leisure or either play it back just so that you make sure you don't miss anything, okay?
I also would like to thank you, Tamara, because you continue to work with us, and during this time, you reached out, and I appreciate the Greater Inglewood Development Center for that. Some of the faces I believe I remember from the workshops. So I just wanted to say formally hello to any guys that maybe was in some of those workshops or classes with us over at the, on 63rd?
Yes, yeah. Okay, great. And I appreciate it. It's good to hear those comments, because we want to make sure we're not doing this in vain, that we're really trying to help you as much as possible. Now, I had kind of spilled a little secret the beginning of the week. You guys hang in there with us because we got some kind of like scholarship stipends going on. So we don't want you to drop out yet. So we want you to stay in line, and actually we've gotten some potential new investors that are interested in investing in small business. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that. So hang in there with us, do the homework assignments, communicate with us, so that then when these additional scholarships or stipends come through, you can be in line for it, because we would have had this communication in this open line with you. That's why we ask a lot of questions about how are things going? What do you need? Because we're sharing this with other investors or private corporations that are saying, hey, and they're saying, what are the businesses needing? And I need to be able to tell them what you need, so that then they can say, yeah, we can fund that, or no, we can, or fix it where they can, you know. So we need for you to continue to communicate with us. We want to see success stories out of this. So we don't want this just to be a regular class and then you back to the drawing board
This is
and
not
still don't know what to
regular.
do. Huh?
It's a platform that I have never seen in my entire life. As a small business owner, I've been reaching out, trying to connect with organizations or anyone, mentors or coaches, anyone that can help me, because in the Black community or the urban community, we don't have those options. And that's why we suffer in our small businesses. And that's why it takes us so long sometimes to just launch off into our desired state.
Yeah.
So the fact that this platform exists,
Yeah.
and we have the opportunities, I believe we may be one of the first ones to have to take advantage of this platform. So this is amazing. Anyone, hang in there just for yourself, for your business, because this is something that we have never, me personally, and I've been an owner for over a decade and a half. This has been a platform I have never in my life seen or experienced.
Great. Yeah,
we
really
appreciate
that, and we appreciate the feedback, because this is what I share. You know, I'm on calls with the city of Chicago, with the state of Illinois all the time, and they're saying, well, how are the businesses doing? Well, I need to be able to say, hey, they need this, 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 and this. They need to pivot from this. They need money for this. I need to be able to communicate that, so that then, you know, and then put them to the test and say, are you just asking, or are you going to actually do something? So that's why I continually tell you, communicate with us, send us the information that we're asking for. We're not asking for it in vain. We're actually asking for it so we can put some action items and put some heat under other people that have the money to be able to help you. And so that's what we want to do. And then we want to structure you so that you have a solid foundation, so that then you can go out there on your own and you have a solid platform so that you can start building. Okay. So that's our whole goal of what we want to do it on the right track. Rhea, did you have any comments before we jump off?
The only comment is I sent Wesley, can you hear me? Yeah, I sent Wesley a note that we did receive your information.
Okay.
But
great.
also looking forward to working with you guys. So stay in there so we can go over some marketing and social media and technology concepts. My background is I'm a former IBMer, so I have a little tech experience. I should say a lot of tech experience. So looking forward to see how we can work with you to make sure that you are taking advantage of being a global entrepreneur and can take your business not just in Inglewood, but across the global market.
Yep. Great, wonderful. So, and also just a comment for Wesley, I'm going to be uploading some content or some information. Microsoft has a platform out there that's actually open to the public that talks about cybersecurity. It talks about e-commerce. There's a lot of different stuff it talks about. So we're going to be putting that content on there, stuff that you can read. but I think it'll be beneficial for all of you. Okay? All right, you're advertising your face mask? Okay, all right. Good job, that's what you're supposed to do.
I was just wondering if you guys were gonna pick it up because
Yeah, no, I picked it up.
We're moving. This is his face mask, but I told him since I'm in this class and you're gonna have to take advantage of it.
Yep.
Make sure you are no closer.
Yep.
Make sure that you have to take advantage of, you know, these classes. So I did advertise, and that is sophisticated. And so
Yep.
we're trying to put the drip on it, guys.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, and make sure if you should be able to communicate with the class through the platform, but if not, shoot me an email. I'll forward it to everybody so that they have all your information in order to purchase masks from you. Okay? Yep, so send me the information, or either you can communicate on the platform. I think you can communicate with everybody on the platform, but send me the information. I'll forward it to the class so that people know how to order masks or get masks from you. Okay? All right, that's all I have. Happy Friday. I heard it's gonna be nice this weekend. So, you know, be good, stay safe, do your homework and your assignments, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Okay? Great. See ya. Have a good one.